The Hostomel Airport is located about half an hour from Kiev in Ukraine, and it's not the sort of place you'd expect to find a giant of the aeronautics industry. But that's exactly what you'll find, as it's the home base of Antonov Airlines, the manufacturer of the world's heaviest plane, which was, until recently, also the world's largest plane, the Antonov AN-225 Mriya. It's so large, in fact, that when the only one that has ever been made was unveiled on the 30th of November in 1988, it didn't even fit inside its designated hangar. It's a true monster of the skies, so much so that when it first took off in 1989, it broke 102 world records. Amazingly, it's still breaking records to this day. In April of 2020, when it carried 1,000 cubic meters of cargo from China to Europe, it broke the record for the largest volume of cargo ever transported by air. Though its size is truly an impressive feat of engineering, the plane itself is actually remarkably simple. It's not very fast or very complex technically. It's simply a cargo plane, and it does what it needs to do, and it does it well, although what it does today isn't actually what it was originally designed for. In the late 1980s, the Russian space program had fallen behind that of the USA, and they needed a way to transport the Buran space shuttle to the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. And as there were no ports for thousands of miles, they decided air transport would be the best method. They focused on the AN-124 as a base to start from, which was already a massive plane, and went to town increasing the size and the sheer vastness of the aircraft. They added 2 extra D-18T turbofan engines, taking the total to 6, and increased the wingspan to 88 metres to accommodate them. The number of landing gear on the fuselage was also increased from 10 to 16, with 6 being added to the rear to help steer the behemoth on the ground. The AN-225 has a pretty cool looking twin wing design at the rear to help with balance when flying with the shuttle on top. Ironically, the AN-124 was originally considered too small because the 62-ton Buran shuttle wouldn't fit inside. However, the final design of the AN-225 had the shuttle piggyback on top of the aircraft so that more cargo could be stored inside if needed. There are more mind-blowing features about the AN-225 though. Its overall length of 84 metres makes it the longest aircraft ever constructed. That 88-metre wingspan was also the widest until the Strato launch took off in 2019. The cargo hold is 6.4 metres wide, 4.4 metres tall and 43 metres long, which, incredibly, is longer than the length of the Wright brothers' first ever flight in 1903. Standing empty on the runway, it weighs 285 tonnes, giving it the title of the world's heaviest plane, and with a maximum takeoff weight of 640 tonnes, which is around the weight of 5.5 blue whales. It's hard to believe that the AN-225 can even get off the ground. Luckily, those 6 engines provide about 300,000 pounds of thrust that will take this flying Titanic up to 530 miles per hour. The cost of running the aircraft on a single mission is in the region of $30,000 an hour, so you better make sure it's all fitting in on one trip. So, what does the future hold for the AN-225? Well, considering it's spent the last 30 years breaking air records and transporting massive objects around the world, it's going to be around for a while yet. There have been rumours and plans to finish the second AN-225 that has sat in skeleton form in a hangar since the fall of the Soviet Union. In 2016, an agreement between Antonov and China hoped to use the second AN-225 as an air-to-orbit launch platform for satellites, but acquiring parts from Russia has proven to be difficult. So, it might be a while before we see a second AN-225 take to the skies. Antonov have confirmed that the current AN-225 Mriya will be in operation until at least 2033, when this feat of engineering will be 44 years old.